Hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura. So today we have SturmJager in two separate replays. That's kind of a repayment to the collaboration he put out of me today on his channel. Yeah, that's right, this is a collab. The only one I've done this week. Don't get all upset at me, everything else is, just work for you guys. But I thought this was kind of unique in the fact it is a T-54 that looks upgraded, seems upgraded, except for that's 175 pen. That is the T-44's gun. Not exactly the gun you want to fight tier 9s and tier 10s with. But it's possible. He did bring a pretty healthy supply of APCR ammunition. I'll give him that. I would too. Gets a hit on the 112, is trying to back away, and the 112, of course, with the Chinese gun, you gotta let it aim. Now the biggest advantage he has right now, and this is huge, is the fact that he has an obscene reload with this lower penetration gun. It's just under 5 seconds, which is really stupidly obscene, and still does a good 240 point damage shot. I don't know if that'll pen. Nah, it won't. Thankfully the enemy hasn't really noticed he's up here yet. This IS-6 is turning around. Oh. Artillery, of course. You do everything else absolutely perfect and artillery ruins it. So he puts a shot into the AT-7. And now he's going at the IS-6, who's realized, I am not in a situation I wish to be in. Now the IS-6 does wisely put himself up so that he's angled down to be able to shoot into Jaeger's front plate at a flat angle, which is why he's penetrating. Look at all the corpses around him now. Thank you. Enemy waffle? And the T-71 died for his efforts against the IS-6. But he's pretty well hauled down and concealed right now. Artillery could still wreck his day. And he doesn't quite have the gun elevation to shoot the T-30. But we'll see what happens. I mean, that was a pretty devastating exchange for his team. He lost half his hit points and his T-71 is dead in exchange for an IS-6 who probably wasn't worth it at that point. Up, track T-30. The T-30 can, by the way, just punch the front of his turret, like, flat out. No questions asked. I don't think anyone's realized yet, though, that he's using the stock gun. And shot after shot, ringing... I mean, there's little to no chance of actually getting the shell to go where it needs to go to hurt that T-30 from here. And it looks like Sturm has recognized this and is moving down to engage the super Pershing. IS-8 is about to go kablooey when the T-30 decides, and Sturm recognizes the IS-8 is dead. But he can help kill this super Persh, who gets swarmed, and move on to fight the T-30. They are losing. They only have an M103 defending their base, and he is not in a happy place. Also, something, possibly the Waffentrigger Mark IV, is the one that penetrated the front of his turret there. The T-54's armor, the T-54 is still a solid vehicle, but its armor ain't what it used to be. Back when, you only had one Russian heavy line was when this tank was an absolute monster. Now it's slowly started fading. I mean, it's still a good, great, awesome vehicle. I think I've done like 3 videos of it so far with amazing replays in it, and you can still really get some good stuff out of it. But it ain't the best anymore, that's for sure. Power creep, it's a thing. Now, I will be doing a video on Monday. Hopefully the public test server will still be open. Of the 9.10 changes and what I think of them. And I'm very opinionated on this, as SturmJager is repositioning to engage this M103. And instead he finds, oh look, this guy still isn't paying him any mind and dies for it. Now he is reloading premium ammo, which is going to cost him a lot of credits for shooting a tier 6 light with premium rounds. So he decides, HE, yeah, we can do that. Of course, the HE shell is slower than the armor-penetrating shell, so he can't auto-aim this. He needs to actually lead his target. And the HE shell needs a flat surface to impact on if you really hope to hurt your target. Whoops! That's a big whoops. A big whoops. And this T-37 thinks he is now, like, the amazing badass of the world. He's gotten this 54 to take damage, continuously be exposed, kill his own arty. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to make up for this one. All because auto-aim instead of taking a second to manually aim the shot. There are times when auto-aim is useful, and then there are times when you really probably should take your time to aim, and artillery nearly ended this game right there. But the T-37 has bit it. He knows where the T-30 is, he knows the E-75 is camping their own base, and he knows where the Waffentrigger likely is. And he does take a second to apologize to his own artillery for blowing him up. I know I would want to apologize for accidentally blowing up my own artillery. Now against the T-30, he's a one-shot by 100 points on an average roll. All this T-30 has to do is hit him. And the T-30 can't do that. Now he knows he's got about 16 to 16 and a half seconds before this T-30 reloads. And he's just going in there after him. He even fires the APCR to make sure it dies. And we're going to move on to engage the other enemies. Now, the E-75 will take 2 hits to kill him. The Waffentrigger will take 2 hits to kill him. A hit from each of them, however, will end this game instantly. Thankfully, the E-75 has taken a massive slap from the artillery just now and is royally pissed off at said artillery piece, not realizing that this T-54 can easily just come back and start shooting him in the butt. So, SturmJager has turned into a butt stabber. Butt stabber! Butt stabber! And Captain Sheridan, I'm sorry, but this is not the Babylon 5. You are done, sir. Yeah. So now it's come down to a match of 2v2 instead of 2v5. And SturmJager is definitely made up for the accidental killing of his own artillery. The problem is, where's the Waffentrigger? He does wisely switch over to an HE round because we all know Waffentrigger penetrates so long as he shoots the superstructure of the artillery. HE will penetrate. Extra damage. Module damage. He's trying to check with his artillery where the artillery is aiming and gets no reply. I know there's a lot of trolls in chat, guys, but you probably really should ping the map or, you know, respond when allies are trying to talk to you, because usually they're doing it for a good reason. I know there's a lot of trolls and a lot of issues with chat, but there are times when, you know, reading it and responding to it is helpful. So he's being very cautious. This is where the Waffentrigger was last located by his team that attempted to rush their base, and 3 of them died to it. He has no idea what the Waffentrigger's hit points are, because he never actually had it. Even with the mod, you have to actually have the hit point pool pop up on your screen in order to know what the hit points were and be able to check. So even if he's got that mod, he has no idea what the Waffentrigger's HP is. And with no Waffentrigger at the base, this TD could have relocated anywhere on the map, as well as the enemy artillery is the fastest Tier 9 artillery in the game. Oh, the old base cap draw-out trick. Is that what it is? Well then, We're going to drive back to base. And he does take a more direct route. I approve of this. Using the sand dunes to gain acceleration and get over here in less than a minute. So he's crossed the entire map in less than a minute to get back over towards his base. He wants to kind of spot whoever's on cap and then dive for cover. This way, his artillery can take care of the problem. And it's a full health Waffentrigger with the big 150 gun that his artillery just nuked. Grumpy Vietnam veteran. It was a good idea, but not the best idea. That artillery hit. That artillery hit. I mean, what is this guy's name? Negative LMG. Yeah, that guy just possibly saved this match because all that Waffentrigger had to do was hit, and it would have been over. Now he's trying to locate that enemy artillery piece, who could be anywhere on the map at this point. So this could take some doing. But him and his allies agree, let's go cap. Just go cap, call it even. Hopefully the enemy artillery doesn't wipe one of you out in the process and you get the cap off. And even if he does, it only takes a minute and a half to cap with one of you. So both of them pull onto the cap at the same time, which is what you should do, and just kind of wait this one out. All day long, all night long. No sense in rushing in and getting killed by the enemy artillery. SturmJager does a very good job of continuing to move, and the enemy artillery, surprisingly, after 30 seconds, hasn't splashed anywhere on the cap. This is kind of surprising that the enemy artillery doesn't actually fire. And there it is. Trying to spot. Oh, I think that got him spotted. Oh, God. Is it going to cap out or is it going to be a fight? It's a cap out. That's it. Game over. 50 seconds left. Whew. However, for you guys, this isn't the only replay tonight. Yeah, I got two. I sent SturmJager 2. He sent me 2. We're going to use them both, because it only seems fair. And it is our feature presentation of the tank that many of you have come to know and hate. And love. Either or. You see it, I see it, we all see it. 59 Patton. Yep. That's what's on there. And it is on mines. Now the 59 Patton is basically an M48 Patton turret slapped on a Type 59 hull, which is equivalent to a T-54 hull. And that's it. That's exactly what this thing is. It has this massive, cancerous piece of thing we call a commander's hatch that is a weak point from hell. And other than that, it's a T-54 at tier 8 with preferred matchmaking. Actually, no, this one doesn't have preferred matchmaking, but it does have a premium heat shell of 250 pen, which is enough to penetrate tier 10s. Reliably, anyway. It is not, however, as fast as the Type 59. It is a little slower, and therefore cannot rush up that hill without getting cut off by enemy heavy tanks. But it has the American Patton gun depression, and can play those awfully, awfully fun American turret games. This IS-3 gets smacked right through the drive wheel, forced to stay in place for a second, blows repair kit to get out of there before he gets slaughtered. But there are too many people crammed up near this rock right now. Way too many tanks in here for anybody to get anything functional. Ooh, and his first hit he receives actually goes in, and I can't even see where it went in. All we know is it penetrated. It's probably went in that commander's hatch somewhere, but there's no sticker. However, that poor SturmJager 88 who pulled across the field sideways in front of everyone is paying for it as he tries to put another one into the commander's hatch, but yep, loses it. Up. The T-29 just put another one through that commander's hatch. Told you, it's a big piece of cancer. It's just like the commander's hatch on the BDR and the regular Pattons. Just shoot it. It goes in. No questions asked. Not to mention, this is a Type 59 hull, so things like the T-28 prototype have the gun just to punch through the upper hull plate and laugh at you, thinking you're all big and bad. Oh, IS-3 coming around. And he shoots, but the round goes into the upper plates and just goes way off, just bounces off harmlessly. Ah, God. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Oh, no. Sorry. No ticket there. IS-3 is heavily side-scraped. That round has no chance of penetration. His team is winning. That is a derp gun, I think. Nope, that is a 122. And right through the commander's hatch again. We can actually see this one right there below the machine gun. That commander's hatch, it's just so easy to penetrate that. But the SU-152 does pay for his maneuver with most of his hit points. Now again, SturmJager's being cautious. He doesn't see any sense in moving in yet. He's only scored 1 kill. And you guys are all sitting there thinking, well, this isn't that amazing. It's not amazing as the T-54. Well, no. But it's getting there. As you know, mines can be a very, despite being a small map, can be a very long, drawn-out fight. Doesn't often end in a draw, though. Usually ends in one side winning or losing. Now, he's realized that SU is up here by himself. And he's got a shot at the IS-6, a bare scrim of one. But he could run up here and possibly kill that SU and then go up the hill after those guys. SU fires, bounces off his upper hull. He fires back, bounces off the SU's gun mantle. The SU does reload faster, by the way, when it has a 122. I personally prefer the SU-152's 152mm because that's why it's called the 152. Sadly, he does not realize he could have got up there and saved his friend who had dove into the enemy ranks in a CDC of all things. But he is slowly getting the hint that it's time to advance up. And the enemy are putting out a very, very prolonged fight here, by the way. Now, a very high roll could kill him from the prototype, but most likely he could just take the hit. He doesn't want to take the hit, though, because that would be the rest of his HP. And that would be bad. That would be very bad. Okay. But those two guys up there are looking awfully juicier by the second, especially now that he knows the prototype is alone. 152 spotted off to his left. This could he could die right now. No? They just let him up here uncontested. Well, damn. Like I said, the heavier Patton turret makes this tank a little less mobile. That's why it's not that fast. And the prototype, of course, didn't take the time to back off and turn to face because he had plenty of time to do it, even with his slow traverse. So he's dead. And that's his second kill. There are still 4 enemies on the enemy team. What am I showing this to you guys for? This seems like not such a great match. Well, if you notice, the number of allies he has been reduced considerably in the last few minutes from 12 to 9 to 7. He's really got to start doing something or his allies are just going to keep dying. SU-152, finishing blow. And this is kind of what this tank is really good at. If you've ever heard of a got-ya tank, that's what this thing is. It's a got-ya tank. It's that moment when you think you've gotten away and you think that you're safe and everything, and then it suddenly appears from out of nowhere and goes, "Got you!" and you're dead. It's exactly what this tank is. It's just like the PZ-4 with the derp gun. It's just like the Cromwell. It is a tank that when you are low on hit points, you don't want to see come around the corner with anything more than one shot of health left in it, because it will just eat you alive. He misses that manual aim shot. If he auto-aims right now, he might get it, but instead he's going to take the time to actually aim it and rack up his 4th kill. His gun gets damaged by the enemy Jackson, which makes his Chinese accuracy even worse. But the advantage here is that even with APCR rounds, the Jackson will have a hell of a time pinning his front unless he hits that commander's hatch. And he is wisely using the rock to kind of shield it a little bit. But look at his allies. They're dying still. Rather quickly. But he's recognized where he can push on the map, and that's important. His map awareness has told him, I can go eat this Jackson, the prototype's not going to help him, and then I can go after the prototype in a one-on-one fight, which is not a fight the prototype wants to be in, by the way. It's the worst type of fight. And there's the Jackson waiting for him, but doesn't get a chance because that Patton gun depression. Now he is loading heat in case he sees the front of the prototype, because 250 will pen flat 200mm armor. And he can out DPM the prototype by a significant amount. He checks. He's not spotted again. But he's going to drive around anyway, because this is a better position. It gives him more elevation and more trees to approach through. There's the prototype looking for him. The prototype blows his shot, hoping to get a quick snappy in. Oh, almost gets hit by the prototype there. He's closing in on it. I mean, that everybody should sense blood in the water right now. That prototype could do a last stand and kill them. Or he could get outmaneuvered by... I mean, I get he's got his back to a wall and hit his sides to a wall, but you can still be outmaneuvered even when you're like this. SturmJager wisely moves up, gets right into position, and now the prototype knows that the moment of truth is about to come. He's going to get a shot in, but it's not going to be a lethal shot. Oh god, SturmJager, you forgot that heat shells have no normalization. You've now paid all of your hit points. And most of your team is pretty dead. But the prototype makes a mistake and pokes out sideways to get his top gun at the end of the game. Yeah, that was a thing. Let's go check out the stats for these two particular matches and see just what kind of havoc was caused. So first we have the T-54, which is a mastery badge. I mean, that's hard in the T-54 because a lot of people do extremely well in this tank. 4,083 damage, 4 kills, 1,300 experience. But you notice there's no high caliber award. Nobody scored more damage than him, did they? No? What's going on here? Team damage. If you do 1 point of team damage that gets registered as your fault, you can't receive a high caliber award. But this would have earned a high caliber award. Flat out. Most of his shots did also hit the target. The problem is he only has 175 pen, so a third of them did, just over a third of his shots did nothing because of his low penetration stock gun. But this does show you it is possible to get a mastery game before you even fully upgrade the T-54. He did lose credits because of having to use a lot of premium ammo. Expect to do that. Expect to lose money. But he does walk out of here with just over... with 58... what is that? 5860... 1564? 1562. God. Math. Fiaura. Math. 1,562 experience. And he did lose like 2 experience points for accidentally killing that guy. But it was an accident. It really was. Now the Type 59, as you guys saw, this is an ace tanker game. It is a Top Gun. It is not a high caliber by just a little hair, because the prototype actually scored more damage and still didn't get it. So he needed a couple more shots for the high cal, but he was there for his team. He did have a lot of map awareness. He knew exactly what he was doing in order to manipulate his mastery. Now, a fourth of the shots missed. Almost half of his hits did nothing. Guess what? This is the 59 Patton for you. In fighting and head-on fights, this is what's going to happen. Like I said, it's more played like a gotcha kind of tank where you pop around the corner and go, got you! He did do 1,300 spotting damage, though. Nice job. So you did almost your hit points in spotting damage. You did almost twice your hit points in actual damage. And he does walk out of here with 32,000 credits in the pocket from the premium vehicle. And look at that XP. That's a nice ×3 just to be like, yes, excellent. Though his description is, this tank is bad. Yeah, that commander's hatch on top is the easiestly the biggest point of, I'm going to shoot you and you're going to pay for it. So, that's everything for you guys for right now. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I hope that you guys will stick around and leave comments. If you did like what you saw, please hit the like button and share this on Facebook. I would thoroughly appreciate it. If you want to see more stuff by Fiaura, hit the subscribe button. If you would like to donate or support the channel, you can do so on the Patreon page or by clicking on the ad at the end of the video. And lastly, if you want to see the previous World of Tanks video, it's right there for you guys. Just click on it and it will take you there. Also, all of this is in the cards up top, and I'm starting to put it in the description below. In the meantime, this is Fiaura officially signing out for right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, guys. Sure. And I just got shot in the side. That's not cool, yo. It also doesn't help that I'm playing Armored Warfare and World of Warships and all those things right now, too. Yeah, that's right, I'm playing World of Warships. I'm actually kind of enjoying Soviet destroyers. They're really my style. Oh, come on, Chester. Little Cheeto. There we go. That's the Cheeto. Oh, that round was so